Well. So, first of all, did you bring honeycomb cereal to work with you in a Ziploc bag? I did. Second of all, okay, there's two options for this week's project, this upcoming week. And you guys can choose either or you could do both. And that's not counting the sports posters. Feel free, as always, to do Auburn High athletics. Basketball is coming up, boys and girls, and soccer will be coming up soon. And Tuskegee, same. At least basketball is coming up soon. And so feel free to do those. But the official two projects, let me do the share screen and show you all the options real quick. One is to do a poster representing a particular culture. So this is option one. And then the second option is to do corporate identity for a local company. And we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, number one. So they say that this is a profound sentence by someone smarter than me, but they say water is to fish as culture is to humans. And one way to interpret this would be, okay, here's an example. So in some parts of the ocean, it is vibrant and colorful and shallow and relatively safe, and there's other parts of the ocean where it's more monochromatic, meaning one color, and less colorful, less vibrant, deeper, maybe more dangerous. And there's just outside the ocean, that's a whole different culture, the whole different way of living, very dangerous. And there's super deep down within the ocean where it's uber dangerous, and some fish can't even handle probably the pressure down there and things like that. And some places are ultra dangerous, and some are very laid back and mellow, albeit fast moving, just kind of calm about it, And then there's some like conglomerations of various cultures kind of all assembled into one place. And I mean, goodness, if you do it too quick, too overly efficient, I mean, you could argue that there could be some like fake cultures where things are just like they don't have enough roots, so to speak. Just like, we're just throwing something together and trying to make it work. And so, okay, in the ocean, again, there's different ways of living and moving and breathing and different ways of feeling depending on where you are. There's some places more enjoyable, some places more calm and relaxed and things like that. So as it pertains to humans, our particular culture, okay, just specifically here in Auburn, we stand around trees and throw toilet paper in them often and celebrate that. We are a relatively smart town. It's a college town, and so there's a lot of professors and well-educated people here. That's just part of our local culture, But you could do any culture. We tailgate. We get around in tents outside and just hang out and eat in the outdoors. And it's not hiking. It's not camping. It's just hanging outside with coolers and things like that. And then we all cram into a building and go for a football team. That's our local culture, So the USA at large, stereotypically, the United States citizens like hot dogs and hamburgers, and we like to shoot fireworks. I don't know if you ask worldwide what are we like, they'd probably have some general things that we all kind of enjoy to do. So, goodness, you could choose a particular country or a region of a country or a particular people group. You could do a big, broad culture or a specific one. So here's just some examples. So if you Google like Chinese poster, here are some examples of what you might get. And, they're all different, but they're similar, right? And so just stylistically, if you see one of these and see the other two, you can kind of associate and link them like, oh, these belong together. Here's some from Russia. Looks pretty different. Looks a little serious and a little, I don't know, military-ish. And so anyway, again, this is just Googling actual posters. Again, kind of serious. He has cannons for arms. I don't know what that means. And even the fonts that are used, just the simple, rigid font, simple, rigid font. And simple, rigid font. Very geometric and sans serif. No serif. There's no need for a serif. Just say it, So anyway, here's some. If you type in Indian posters, and okay, here's the thing. Some of these were made in America to represent, a poster that might have been created in India, but they still, I think, kind of accurately depict the cool colors and vibrant, happy social life and things like that. And so here's an Israeli poster, another and another. And again, as far as the fonts go, very similar and kind of, maybe not minimalistic, but very stylized, not a photograph or something like that. Here's Irish, green and fun, things like that. I typed in Korean graphic designer, Korean poster. And I think that's from the Olympics a handful of years ago. And here's film festival. But color-wise, they're not identical by any means. They're similar, Canadian, of course, they like the maple leaf. And whether it be minimalistic or not, you can kind of tell they came from the same general region. Let's see here. Here's one from Mexico, another from Mexico. Multiple colors and kind of fun. And I don't know, it looks like a party. And here's some, I typed in Japanese poster. And I would say minimalistic for these particular ones anyway. And both celebrate the flag. Here's another that kind of has a hint of the flag. And even when they're not like super clean, like these are very clean, crisp, Even when they add texture, it's still kind of clean and relatively minimalistic. So anyway, okay, you could celebrate any particular culture and, maybe do a little advertisement for it. And if you want it to be Auburn, very specific, or if you want it to be broad, like, North America, just take your pick. And let's see here. The other option number 2, is to take a company and make just as much as you can for them. I'm not even going to mandate how many particular things you have to have, but like maybe like a logo and a business card and a letterhead and an ad for social media, something like that. These guys do a lot more than that. But here's another company. We're just making an identity for a company. What does that company look like? Well, let's design what this company looks like and show it to the world. And of course, there's a lot of repeated things. You use the logo on everything, but not just the logo. You use the same colors and the same fonts on everything, and just like the same styles on everything. So here's another one. They're all going for different identities, and they have achieved that. They look like 3 very distinct companies, but this one looks cohesive. This one looks cohesive. This one looks cohesive. Each one sticks to itself. So anyway, business card, logo, maybe an ad, and see what else you have time for. I would do what you want. I would do an actual company that hasn't been around for too long, and then send it to them and see if they'll actually use it. So like just one recommendation example, you don't have to do this. My neighbors started up a company that sells salsa, and I designed this logo for them. And they do not have business cards, and they don't have many, if any, like social media ads. They may have a couple, very new ones, but I'm sure they would appreciate anything that they can get, So if you want to design front and back of a business card, like a sleek, cool business card that looks something like this, then I think they would just eat it up. And you don't have to do them. You could do any kind of local business. It could be a family member's band or your own band. Make your band a logo and a business card and ad and things like that. So the 2 options, once more, are to either do an ad that celebrates any particular culture. You can advertise it if you want, or at least just celebrate like, hey, this is a fun, cool thing that happens at this specific place, And then option number 2, if you'd rather, you can take a new business and try to make them a corporate identity. Multiple things. Make them a logo, make them a business card, front and back, and maybe an ad for social media and whatever else. If you want to do them a letterhead, you can do that. And business cards, I can tell you, are 2 inches tall by 3.5 wide. And again, that's 2 by 3.5. And then a letterhead is on standard size paper, which is 8.5 by 11. And if neither of those two, always the alternative options are the athletic posters for us and or Tuskegee. And I want to say there's one. A club wants a T-shirt also. There's a new English Honor Society club, and they want a T-shirt. Okay, my time's come and gone. If you guys have any questions, holler. I'll talk to you later.